I've been playing this new collectible card game called Mythgard, which just entered open beta on Steam. And there is just so much to do in this game. Hey everyone, I'm Thyworm, and today I want to bring you my first impressions after playing Mythgard for a couple of hours. Mythgard is a collectible card game developed and published by Rhino Games. The plan was to release this game a lot sooner, but Rhino Games decided to polish it more to the state that they felt confident about presenting it to the general audience. That has been a good decision, because as a card game that is currently in beta, it definitely feels very complete already. I'm a big fan of Hearthstone, and I won't pretend to know a lot about Magic the Gathering, but I will still attempt to give an overview on how this game plays and what it has to offer. Mythgard has some very deep game mechanics and deck building possibilities. Just like in Magic, you can construct decks with different colors, which then work well together. To build a deck, you need cards, of course. At the start of the game, you're giving some cards already. By playing the tutorial and the first act of the campaign, you earn a lot more cards. You can also earn coins to buy packs of cards by doing the campaign, by doing dailies, and by doing additional challenges. Or you can of course spend money on in-game currency, Mithril, to buy cards. It's a free-to-play game, so that monetization seems fair, and so far I'm not getting the impression that I'm being ripped off or forced into buying cards. I have been granted a ton of cards actually, and I'm definitely not complaining. Another great feature are community decks. These are decks provided by the community that you can choose to play around with. Each couple of days these decks rotate, but the nice thing is that they're free to use, and I don't think you need to own all the cards to play these specific decks. I'm not 100% sure, but assuming that is the case, it's a great feature. If not, it's still pretty good, because it shows you some creative deck building from fellow players, but then of course you need to get or buy the cards to make those decks work. Then a little bit about the in-game mechanics. At the start there is no mulligan. You do however start with quite a few cards. Still, I occasionally suffered from some bad RNG which didn't allow me to play any card for 2 turns, which felt pretty bad, but yeah, RNG and card games, I get it. Every turn you can burn a card, which grants you a crystal of that card's color and, let's say, a mana point. These crystals can be used to play cards of that color, and the mana is just your general resource like in Hearthstone. This already adds a layer of depth to the game. Another interesting mechanic are enchantments. These are patches of land basically that can be placed on the battlefield and provide buffs or debuffs to units that are on them or on adjacent tiles. I created a deck with quite a few of these, and I littered the playing field, creating basically a defensive wall with my own units on it as well. These are a lot of fun to mess around with. There are hero powers like you have in Hearthstone, which usually cost 2 resources. You can draw a card, for example, or heal a unit. Some of the more advanced mechanics include paths, which are like small quests which give temporary bonuses when you complete them. For example, I chose a path which allowed me to revive my own dead units after I gathered enough souls. And then of course you have your standard battlefield mechanics, which come in various versions, but are usually relatable to other card games. Things like Battle Cry, Rush, Divine Shield, Taunt all exist in this game as well, but they gave them different names. Even though I consider myself a reasonably experienced collectible card game player, it took me a lot of hours to get used to all the different battle mechanics and the way the units interact with each other, and I have to admit I still haven't got it figured out 100%. Every now and then I think I've set up a decent defense, for example, and then somehow I've missed that the enemy unit can pass defenses, because it has this special ability. Those surprises are still happening from time to time, but that's not a bad thing. It is more a testament to the depth of this game. There really is a lot to focus on, and I think a lot of Magic and Hearthstone players will enjoy this game quite a bit if it catches your attention. There's much more to say about this, but I'm going to leave the gameplay for now and talk a bit about the different game modes. Because bloody hell, Mythgard offers a ton of game modes. First, there's a campaign. It serves as a tutorial mostly, at least at the start. By playing through it, you receive a bunch of new cards, some coins to buy packs, you unlock other game modes, and you get a general feel for the game. I thought in terms of a tutorial, it is well explained. In terms of a story, it's just this weird post-apocalyptic setting with cringy delivery and some pretty bad voice acting in an overall extremely incoherent story.
She approaches already, Lord Ixion. Even now, she bludgeons her way to your doorstep.
Enyo, go discuss our dealings with the Storm Daughter. and get me more.
You should also check out the Twitter account of Mythgard, which is super weird as well. They're clearly putting effort into the whole lore and all, but I'm not really convinced. You might be, however. One thing I did like was the retro synthesizer music throughout the game. It fits the scene perfectly and it doesn't get boring either. After completing the campaign, you unlock various other game modes. Melee is a 2v2 constructed card game mode. Ranked is your regular ranked constructed game mode with a ladder. In puzzle mode, you need to solve various combat situations by using the right strategies. Casual is a constructed PvP as well, but without the ladder system, ideal to practice your newly built decks against real opponents. There is an arena mode as well, which works just like arena in Hearthstone, where you will battle opponents for multiple rounds until you either win all of the rounds or until you are defeated a couple of times. The PvE section also really doesn't disappoint, with Brawl setting you up against a random AI to play a few matches, or with the Gauntlet, which is a series of enemies you need to defeat in order to achieve a victory. I haven't played all of these game modes yet, but the ones I did play, mainly the PvE ones, worked really well. They also provide you with specific cards with some additional coins to buy packs, so they're worth doing at least once. Let's finish with a little bit about the in-game economy. The game really is generous when it comes to cards, coins and other claimable rewards. You can earn up to 12,000 coins per day, which equals 10 packs or 60 cards. You gain levels, unlocking more packs and coins and cards. There are specific daily challenges for additional coins. There's a weekly chest, which requires 5 victories or a successful gauntlet run. To top it off, there are various achievements as well. Oh, and on a side note, it has Twitch integration. I mean, it's quite impressive, ladies and gentlemen, the amount of stuff you can do. Add to this over 400 unique cards spread over 6 deck colors, and this game will entertain you for many hours, I feel. If you like card games, jump in, have a look around, get through the cringy campaign and start building some decks. The visuals and look may or may not appeal to you, but the depth in this game is undeniable and to me a big selling point, even though the game is free to play. This was Thyworm. Subscribe for more game reviews and first impressions. Thanks for watching and making it to the end. Bye bye.